Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Welcome to the Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 48, A Rock and a Hard Place with special guest Dennis Wager. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald and I'm here with my guest, Dennis Wager. Hey, Dennis, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Monique. It's great to be here.
We are so excited to have you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Dennis and then we're going to get right into it. Dennis is one of those people that you call when you have a big obstacle, when you've got a big job, because Dennis loves to blow things up. From as early as he can remember, he's been building things and taking them apart, always looking to improve them. The bigger the challenge, the better the project. Today, these projects range from underwater blasting and braking, tunnel jobs, to helicopter and remote access jobs. He's always researching new and better methods for his clients to stay on top of industry innovations, teaching others along the way. And he is here with us today because he's also working on a personal development program. Welcome to the show, Dennis. We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much. That's very nice of you to say all that. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
All right. So Dennis and I met at a media mastery boot camp with Angel Tussey. And we were learning all about PR and all about how to get interest for our business with the media and how to plan out our year and really bring up the media exposure to our business. And we met that day. I sat right next to him. I don't know what brought me to be right beside him. And then Dennis started talking about what he did and how he did it. And I was just completely intrigued by Dennis's story and how he helps people. Dennis, what brought you to the Media Mastery Boot Camp with Angel Tussey? What brought you there?
Well, actually, I just came across that with a friend of mine, Deborah Drummond. She has Angel as her publisher, and she told me about the boot camp, and I thought, what a great opportunity. I had been an author or co-author in one of the books previously called Pursuit 365, and then as a result of that, I got to go to a book signing at Indigo and met a lot of really cool people. We did some autographs of a bunch of books. Us co-authors got to autograph each other's books. And it just kind of opened my eyes to more of what's out there, what's available. So I thought, what a great idea to just go to this boot camp and just check things out a little bit further. I'd always been, kind of industrial driven or production driven, but over the past few years, I've learned a lot about digital marketing social media. But now with the book aspect of it, it kind of brings like a whole different light to what's available or what's out there, to take on.
That's right. And you have signed up to Angel's going to help you write a book about your story. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So our aim is to have the book published on the bestsellers list of Amazon, and hopefully the New York Times bestsellers list as well. And we're shooting for April as a date to have it published.
That's awesome. Dennis, tell us a little bit about you are there. I learned some things that I couldn't believe. You've got some amazing stories that I'm sure you're going to be telling in your book. And one of them is that someone called you to help in the way that only you can in the Grand Canyon. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it's funny. When people call me, I always call it, they have one of the two P's. Either they have a problem or they have a project. So a problem is where, hey, I'm doing an excavation. I hit this big rock. What do I do? Or I'm trying to take something out of my basement or underwater. We hit this, whatever it is, and what do I do? Or a project would be, hey, we have this coming up and we have this rock in our way. And that's what happened with the Grand Canyon. I got a call from a company in California who was awarded the job to do the wastewater treatment plant upgrade in the bottom of the Grand Canyon for the Phantom Ranch. And part of that involved trenching through all the rock. And of course, in the Grand Canyon, it's very sensitive, so there was no blasting allowed. So they were kind of, for lack of a better term, scratching their heads going, hey, what do we do here, So they got online, and they looked around, they found me, and they called me up and said, hey, we need to break this rock in the Grand Canyon. There's no access. We can't truck anything there. We can't ship anything there. It's all has to be flown in by helicopters. Can you help us? So I said, absolutely. That's what I do. So we got together. We did some training. I supplied all the equipment, all the products. They flew me down there. We helicoptered in all the grout, all the drills. Myself included. I was very lucky to be able to stay at the bottom of the Grand Canyon in the Rangers' bunkhouse, along with some of the crew. And honestly, Monique, it was like a lifetime experience, right? Like not many people get to be at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. They say that 5,000 people a year get to visit the canyon, but only 1% get to the bottom, and probably like a micro fraction of those get to stay in the Rangers station or Rangers bunkhouse.
So that's really amazing that you had that once in a lifetime experience. What were your thoughts? What did you take away from that experience? I mean, yes, you were using your expertise and you got to do what you do best. But from a personal development standpoint, what did you take away from that?
Well, honestly, a lot of gratitude. I'm very grateful where I am in life, and I have like a very curious mind. I like to actually use Steve Jobs' principle of just connecting the dots in research and development and business. It's just kind of like, certain things, you don't know the missing things, but you can go find out. And I've always kind of done that in my approach. I've always been, learning more, innovating products, inventing things, finding better ways, and then just putting them together. So that's kind of what brings me to be able to help people like these contractors and the state parks there at the Grand Canyon. Just kind of having an ability to dissect certain issues and finding a solution.
So this is what I loved about your story, this right here. I know that for those of you listening, and for me myself, there are always moments in our lives where we really feel stuck. We feel that we are between a rock and a hard place, and we cannot see the solution. And as I know you can attest to, Dennis, the life of the entrepreneur is really like that. where
Absolutely.
you're always kind of, you go and things are great and fantastic and things flow there, and you're, cooking with gas. And then all of a sudden there's a huge obstacle that you have to get through. Sometimes it's mindset, sometimes it's actual, problems in the business. And one of the things that fascinates me about your work is that you are literally blasting out these obstacles. You are moving the obstacles out of the way. And that's what you actually do. But it is also the way your mind works, right? You have this ability to look at a problem where some of the best minds around look at the problem and see no way around it or through it or out of it. And what I love about what you do is if you don't see a way, you invent one.
Yeah, so the day I got the call from a contractor working here in Delta, BC, I got a call saying, hey, we're working underwater, trying to do some concrete demolition. We had over-poured concrete 120 feet underwater, and you think that your hydraulic splitters might be able to come and do that job. And I said, well, sure. I don't know for sure, but I think, we can definitely try. So we sent the guys out there with their splitters. We worked together with their team of 20 divers who were working 7 days a week trying to get this concrete broken. They were there for 2 months with zero success, brought up 0 pieces of broken concrete. And then we were there for 3 or 4 weeks and we were able to do it. But it just was, being able to go in there without a known expectation, but willing to try it, And I think that's what happens. A lot of people get stuck on a certain thing, and the same in life. People get stuck in a certain thing and they don't really know the answer, but it's just kind of through taking some steps or taking some action that you kind of accomplish something, right? And that leads to the end or to the success.
All right. Thank you so much for that story. What would you tell someone who right now is feeling very stuck, either in their business, in their spiritual life, in their personal life, where they feel there's an obstacle that they just can't see around it? What would you tell them? I would love your insight on this.
Yeah, no problem. I would go and take a look at what you have to be grateful for to begin with. Take a look at what you've accomplished in what it is that you're trying to do. Take a look at what you've accomplished in your life and who you are as a person. Then I would take a look at what you're committed to. Like, everybody has obstacles. We all do. Every day you get up, there's always obstacles. You're like a natural problem solver, no matter what you're doing. But what's your commitment? What do you really want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? And just write out some steps to take. And those steps might be the perfect steps. They might not be the perfect steps, but at least it'll put you in action. It'll get you going.
Yeah, I love that, Dennis. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. One of the things I love about the way your mind works, or at least when you're telling these stories about, people calling you when they've tried everything else, is that there's a kind of a curiosity. It would be very easy to say, oh God, I can't do that, right? Which is what most people, or wow, so many people have tried to alleviate the situation and they haven't been able to, but none of that seems to come up for you. What comes up, as the way I see it, is kind of this natural curiosity, as though somewhere inside you just know there's a solution and that you just have to. What is it? What do you do? Do you wait for it? Do you search for it? Or you just know it's there? Tell us a little bit about this process of yours.
Well, actually, I don't know. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's just like, I ended up going down to Mississippi to train some of the very top blasters of the United States Army. And the whole way down there, I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, why are they paying me to come down there and train their blasters? Like, they've done tens of thousands of blasts. I've done hundreds of blasts. I don't know anything that they know. And yet they're paying me to come down there and train these guys. And at the end of the training, I knew that I didn't teach them everything that they knew, but I taught them about our product and how our product is different. And through that, we got a chance to kind of come together with some common goals to try to move forwards with. And it's just, I think it's just in that. It's just kind of saying like, hey, you stick your hand up or you throw your hat over the fence and then you figure out how to go get it. It's in just kind of saying, I don't know all the answers, but let's figure it out.
I love that. And you are an innovator as well as an amazing problem solver and obstacle remover. You have created something new. And again, out of necessity, right? Because you needed to get something out of the way. And the tools that had been created up until that time weren't working for you. Tell us a little bit about that, Dennis.
Yeah. Are you talking about the expanding grout that we create?
Yes.
Yeah. So I started off years ago selling competitors expanding grout. And then I'm the one that kind of brought it to market. And, a decade ago, it wasn't even as well known or as accepted as it is today. And then I just found some limitations within it. And then I hired a lab and I hired a doctor of science and a biochemical engineer and a chemist. And together we just went to work at, we started off by reverse engineering the competitors' products to get the basics of it. Then we spent quite a bit of time testing and trying to make our own formula. We had several failures, and through the failures, we, after a couple of years, we thought, this is not working. What are we going to do? Like we're testing it, and our pressures are getting to be like, say 3,000 psi, and theirs are claiming 18,000 psi, and then we're wasting our time. What are we going to do? And then we finally had this last chemical that we thought of, like the chemists thought of, to throw in, and that made all the difference. And then what we ended up doing was we finally tested our competitors' products, and we found out that they don't actually have 18,000 psi. They have 4,000 psi, but they just say they have 18. And then after that, we then retested ours, and we got ours up to like 5,600 and then 6,000 psi. So we have our statistics now, our proof showing that ours is better and stronger. And we just through, perseverance. And it was perseverance, but also just kind of interacting with people that were smarter than me. I don't take that lightly, and I'm not saying that I'm not smart, but I have my limitations. And when I surround myself with smarter people or people that are more experienced in a certain field, together, that's where kind of the magic happens, and we can kind of pull out so much greatness like together.
I love that. That for me is the magic of masterminding. That's a word that, that's a word that everybody's kind of throwing around these days about mastermind. And the term was coined by Napoleon Hill. And what he was saying was that when we put our minds together, a third mind or a divine mind then shows up. And when we surround ourselves with people who have more experience or are great mentors or have lived the life that we want to live or are smarter than we are, it helps us grow and pull ourselves into even greater heights. And that's what you're saying. And then you put your head together with these scientists and came up with this expanding grout that is now the state of the art expanding grout. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It is the strongest on the market.
And so for those of us, me, who has no idea what expanding grout would be used for, will you tell us? I think this really is between a rock and a hard place, right?
Right. So what we use expanding grout for is breaking rock or breaking concrete. So the way that you use it is you just drill a pattern of holes, like a tic-tac-toe pattern, say a grid pattern, typically 1.5 inch diameter, about 1 or 1.5 foot apart. You drill your holes. You take our grout and mix it with water, and you pour it in the holes, and you let it set overnight. And then in the morning, it's cracked, and the rock's ready to be shipped out or dug out.
That's amazing. So it makes the removal of the rock and the hard place easier.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty cool jobs. Like we just finished one in Whistler where we had a average type of house, but it was about, say, 2,000 square feet. But the whole bottom floor was not usable. And then what we did was our process there. We drilled and split the rock out and removed it all. And then that gave the guy his whole main floor of his house back to build into a new space. So they were able to build a new kitchen, a living room, a deck out the back, and a mountain bike storage area, which in Whistler was the most important. You got to have a mountain bike storage room. But it added that whole 2,000 square feet of living space to his house, which was unusable before.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so just to be able to take rock out of somebody's basement and take that unusable space and make it into something beautiful and usable, it's a lot of what we do. So that's the stuff that I have fun with.
That's creative and just innovative. And one of the things I love, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show today, is because there's so many things in our lives that we want to create. There's so many, we want to design our lifestyle so that we're living the life we desire. And so often we come across these obstacles in our way. And sometimes those obstacles we look at as signs that we can't do it or that we're not supposed to do it. And sometimes the obstacles are there to help you expand your mind and to look up instead of looking down on all the things that are not working, and to look up and know that there is a solution there, that if you have these visions for your life, that there's always a way. And I love, Dennis, that you talk about always starting with gratitude.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mike. And it's also like, that's where the excitement happens, right?
Yes.
It really is. Like everybody gets stuck, like we were talking about. And you can look at it like, hey, I'm stuck, I'm not going to do anything. Or you can look at it like, hey, what's life going to be like when I get rid of these obstacles and I break through all this, right? What's life going to be like when I can take on anything that I want? Like anything in my life is possible. Like what would that life look like?
Absolutely. All right, my friend. We're so grateful that you were here with us, giving us new perspective, reminding us that even when we're feeling between a rock and a hard place, the rock guy has a solution.
And there's a correction. According to Angel, it's going to be the rock buster, not the rock guy.
The rock buster. Oh, even better. I love it.
I got to get that branding part straight.
Yes, the rock buster. All right. And we're going to end our session today with one last question that I ask all of my guests. Dennis, what is a magnetic voice to you?
Well, to me, you are the perfect representation of the magnetic voice, because when you speak, your voice just fills the room. It totally resonates with whatever it is that you're speaking about, and it's very whole and complete.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And I love how your voice, my new tagline is, my voice vibrates the world, right? My voice vibrates the world. And that's what I truly believe, that when our voices are aligned, we literally can vibrate the world. And you, Dennis, are vibrating the world one rock at a time. And awesome. Now with your voice as well. So we are so happy to have you here. on the Magnetic Voice podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Monique. That's been my pleasure. It was awesome.
All right. Take care. And you'll find out more information about Dennis Wager and his company in the program notes. And we are so excited for what's coming up next. Make sure to keep in touch and keep listening. And remember, your voice can vibrate the world. All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and go on into the breath. Allow yourself to be breathed. Watch the breath filling you, and watch yourself gently exhale and emptying completely. And releasing and letting go, allow yourself to be filled with the life force as you inhale and gently exhale, releasing and letting go of anything before this now moment. And as you watch the miracle that is your breath, the very thing that lets you know that you are alive. Allow your mind to empty. And just watch your breath. Watch your tummy releasing to receive the inhale and gently falling back towards your spine as you exhale. Now allow your mind to bring you to somewhere in your life where you may be feeling stuck right now. Let your wise, intuitive higher self bring that place where you may feel that you're in between a rock and a hard place, where you've been dealing with or trying to figure out some obstacle in your way. And today I'm going to invite you to stop thinking about it. Stop trying to figure it out. Today, as you bring this situation into your mind's eye, I'm going to invite you to breathe about it. Breathe about it. See it unraveling as you breathe. Know that it's there not to stop you, but it's there to pull you to a greater height, to a greater understanding of yourself as divine, as a creator, as an innovator, As you breathe, allow your natural curiosity to take over. How am I going to feel when I'm on the other side of this? What if I knew exactly my way through it? What if this obstacle is put here so that I can remember who I truly am? What if it's an opportunity to stop looking down and furrowing my brow, but a reminder to look up and breathe and know you can fly. You can fly right over this. You can create something new that will take you out of this obstacle. You can ask for help. You can reach out and look up and know that you're not alone and that you are filled with light and love and divine intelligence and curiosity and innovation. And you have everything that you need to move through. And that there are those surrounding you right now that you can see, and they may be those around you that you can't see, that are giving you signs, that are showing you the way, that are taking your hand right here, right now, and showing you the way through. And as you breathe and release and allow all obstacles to just melt away, all those feelings of being stuck and hitting your head against the wall, just to melt away, because you're never alone. And there is always a way through. And for this knowledge and understanding, we are so grateful. And we say Amen, and so it is, with gratitude and joy.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2022 Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The Soulworks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. Soulworks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the Soulworks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.